guys, welcome to another video. It's your girl Kwamina Joe, and as promised, this is I did a breast reduction series. So I am reporting live from Amsterdam, giving you what you need. What you need, I mean, just what I promised I was gonna do, you know what I mean. I'm filming with the other camera, so that's why I'm still fidgeting over here. Yeah, Gotti, she's safe and away. Let me put you back. But yeah, so I'm gonna split the video up in parts because I think that it's a bit easier. First and foremost, I do look cute, so I'm gonna show you my outfit per usual. I'm wearing this Gillette vest. I don't know what it's. I think yeah, it's a vest. It's a vest. It's a vest. It got it from the men's section from Pull & Bear, and then these jeans. I like the cuff. I hope my socks are clean. Yes, they are. Fairly clean. I don't know. And then this black top, and I have a thermo top underneath it. Because it is cold up in the Netherlands. It's been misty for the past few days, but we power through. Anyway, I'm also doing a low buy to no buy few months. Just because I'm also just tired of my spending habit. When it comes to clothes, in a previous video I already talked about kind of like my shopping addiction. And the steps that I have taken to minimize my shopping is that I now have an expenses tracker. I'm also budgeting, and I'm looking into things like investing, just so that I can put my money to good use instead of just spending it on clothes, of which I already have too much. But these items were one of the few that I bought last year in December. So anyways, having said all of that, because I went on a tangent, this video is gonna be about my breast reduction journey part 2. So this is all about leading up to the surgery, the necessary steps that I took, things that affected my surgery date, or would have possibly affected my surgery date, stuff like that. And while I'm doing that, I have a juice here. I have a juicer as well, and I love making my own juices. She's amazing. This has strawberry, pear, blueberry, ginger, blood oranges, apples, and lemon in it. I think that's about it. Oh, and carrot. Amazing. But yeah. So this journey of having surgeries, I was talking with a friend about it in January. We were just discussing breast reductions and stuff like that. And I remember coming back to the Netherlands, and then seeing a video where somebody said that it was funded or at least covered by her insurance. And I was like, okay, interesting. I parked it for a bit, and then I went about my life. And in August, I remember talking on the phone with my mom and telling her that I'm considering, or at least I'm interested in, a breast reduction. And she was like, Well, just go and book a consultation, because a consultation is always free. So then you know what you're up against, and you know if you have to pay it out of pocket, if you're eligible for your surgery to be fully covered or not. And I was like, yeah, okay, she's right. So having said that, I then went to the same clinic where I got my sinus or chronic sinusitis operation, because it's kind of like an aesthetic clinic or plastic surgery clinic here in Amsterdam. And I then decided to check again with them. I remember also talking with my general practitioner and asking her if I needed a referral, and she was like, you're still in like the kind of like in the discovery or research phase, so no need for a referral still, but keep me posted, keep me updated. And I was like, okay. So then I went to the consultation place, and I'm not gonna gatekeep, but I am also not gonna mention the doctor, because to a certain extent there are just several doctors that work there, and I don't want somebody to be like, oh, this is the doctor who did the surgery on me, and this is the specific. I don't want to influence that choice, but I do want to name the clinic I went to, and that is Esthetisch Centrum Jan van Gooijenkade. No, Esthetisch Centrum Jan van Gooijen, and they have a diverse range of doctors when it comes to specialties. I wouldn't say necessarily diverse when it comes to cultural background, but a diverse range when it comes to people that are specified in plastic surgery. So having said that, I went somewhere in August, and she measured my boobs. I mean, of course, I didn't enter the room boobs first. I sat there, I explained her my situation, and in the back of my mind, I always had the feeling that I didn't qualify for a breast reduction surgery because I minimized a bit of the things that I was dealing with. I just felt for myself like, okay, this is it, this is my reality, so I'm not gonna torture myself on a daily basis with that idea of like, oh, my back hurts, and it's because of my breast size, or I have trouble breathing and it might be because of the size of my breast. So I didn't attribute a lot of the things that I was feeling to my size, because I didn't want to necessarily, I was just like, yeah, this is my reality. I'm not gonna make it harder for myself. So as I said there, we're just discussing certain things, and we were discussing how my lifestyle is, and I was telling her like, yeah, I dance, I go to the gym, and we were talking about what do I experience then, and I was telling her that yes, I don't enjoy running that much because of my breast size. When dancing, sometimes it's uncomfortable. I was also talking about shoulder pain. So as I was telling her this, she then started reassuring me that this is something to consider getting surgery for, that I do indeed qualify because of the things that I was experiencing. So as I told her that, kind of like as she told me that, a world just opened, because I was like, oh, so I'm not overreacting, so I'm not exaggerating, or I'm not making a big issue out of nothing. And then she asks me to take off my top, and then she starts measuring, and then she tells me, like she confirms that indeed I had a larger bosom. In previous measurements, when I went to the lingerie shops here in Amsterdam, I measured at size G in cup size. maybe that would be a 38G. I don't know necessarily the measurements when it comes to the United States, so please excuse that. But here I had, I'm gonna go into my email and see what I ordered once. Hinkemule. Oh yeah. So it was an 85G. And that's in Dutch sizes. I don't know. Let me see. 85G bra size in US. Yeah. Okay, so I was a 38E in the USA. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. But anyways, having said that, she then did some measurements and checked a bit like the weight and stuff like that. And then the question that was also in my mind was like, okay, is this going to be covered by the insurance or not? Because I'm not going to pay 5,000 euros out of pocket for this. So then she said yes. In the Netherlands, how it works is that your insurance depends on the package and depends, of course, on which insurance company you have. But in the basic package of it, things that are plastic surgery that is related to things like an afwijking. What's the word? Oh my gosh, my English. Afwijking Engels. Yes, a deviation, or not necessarily an abnormality, but if you experience something that's a bit more out of the usual and you have and it has effect on your quality of life, then it is covered by the insurance basic package. So I mentioned my insurance company to her, and then she said yes, you do qualify for it, and everything that is also above a D or double D when it comes to boob size, you also qualify. And then in combination with the things that I was already experiencing, then I did qualify for my full coverage by the insurance. And yeah, they all did say, in the way that the Dutch system works, you have your insurance, but then you still have to pay something that they call like your own risk. And that is like an amount that you have to pay out of pocket. And mine was set at like 400 something. So from this surgery, they were like, okay, you're gonna pay that own risk, but the amount but the remaining amount is going to be covered by your insurance company. And I was like, okay, thank God. So then I left her office and she said, you know what, let's already start putting things in place if you want, but you can also just go home and think about it a bit more in depth. But the doctor was so reassuring that I was immediately drawn to just go further, and I could always call them back and say, hey, I'm not going to do the surgery. So I went back to the reception hall, and then I just sat there, and somebody came to take my pictures. So we went there and I took the necessary pictures, and then everybody gets like a surgery facilitator, consultator, advisor. So separate from your surgeon, you get somebody that's kind of like on standby for questions or things that you might have. For questions that you might have. So I sat with him, and then he explained further elements of the process, like drawing blood. So then he also said, well, if you want, while you're already doing things today, you can also draw blood directly, immediately, and then he referred me to their lab. Before he referred me, I also got the information from him when the dates would be available to have surgery, and then I decided, like, okay, well, that was a bit too quick for me, because by then I knew that I was, I still had to plan things with work, and they had said that it is advised to at least take 2 weeks off of work. So I did want to plan that a bit more with my manager and just make sure that we kind of like were aware of what I was gonna do. So he referred me to the lab to draw blood, and I did that, and then I left, of course, and called back to plan a date. So that went well. They sent me also the disclaimers, all the paperwork, like all of this information that I read through, and then I parked it a bit more. September came along, October came along, November came along. I spoke with my manager about it, and I had decided that I was gonna do the surgery in December, because then I work for university, and then you have 2 weeks off, just a collective holiday, starting the 21st of December, and I decided to kind of combine that and take 2 weeks before on sick leave. So I planned my surgery on the 4th of December, and then I was off from work for the whole month, practically, of December, and I would only start work on like the 6th of January when the university opened again. So that went actually really well, because then I had practically 5 weeks home to just recover and take my time, which was amazing. But I'll talk about the recovery part in another video, because there I also want to show you the items that I got and the things that helped me in my healing journey. So then, having said that, I planned it for the 4th of December, and I got the results from my blood work, and the anesthesiologist called me, and he also told me that my iron levels were quite low, and he told me that I think somewhere on the 6th of October, I was also flying to Curacao a week and a half later, and I had to, my iron levels were 5.5, and they had to be at a 7, or my HB levels anyway. So he said, if you start taking iron now, today, you can still make it on the 4th of December, because they didn't want to have the surgery with my low iron levels. So I called my GP. There was some miscommunication there. I just decided to take matters into my own hands, because they were waiting from the results from the lab to be sent to them, because you do have access to your own dossier, but you cannot, or to like your own file, but you cannot send it to your doctor, so they have to get it internally. There was something happening with the system over there, and I was like, I don't have time to waste. So I just went online and bought the highest dosage that I could find of iron, and I also drank folic acid, because that helps to really up your levels. So I was just did my research, and then I went to Curacao with the bundle of iron and folic acid that I had bought. And when I got back on the 10th of November, then I got the medical, like the recipe for the iron, and then I bought it, or got that, and I drank it till my surgery date. And by the 25th of November, my iron levels were at the level that they needed to be. So me self-medicating, which I do not always recommend, but me doing the research and finding out what I needed to do, combined with then coming back and getting the highest dosage from my doctor, really helped me, and I got the levels to where they had to be. So yeah, that's about it. I think also in preparation, I went to the gym. I'm a fairly fit person in the sense that I go to the gym quite often, practically 5 times per week. I eat healthy. I don't smoke. I also rarely drink alcohol, if practically no alcohol. So that also affects your recovery, and also how you're gonna be, how the surgery is going to go. One thing that gave me a bit of nerves is that the doctor that I met in August, she was gonna go on holidays, so I got another doctor, but she was also a woman. I mean, it wasn't. I wouldn't have necessarily minded if it was a man, but it was nice to just have a woman there doing the surgery, and she was also extremely kind. She really put me at ease, and explained to me the whole process, and she just had a very nice demeanor and a very nice way of explaining everything and reassuring me. I had discussed that I want to be going from a G to somewhere between a C and a D when it comes to cup size, because I don't want to go too small, and I still wanted to kind of like feel like myself, but also a size that if I wanted, I could still appear flat-chested, or at least have less volume on my chest. So we discussed that, and she really reassured me in that sense. I am at the moment, I'm also in a Reddit community when it comes to reduction, and if you are considering getting a reduction, I do recommend joining that channel, or the thread, that Reddit channel, because you have a lot of information when it comes to reduction, and it really does reassure you. And if I would have found it earlier, then it would have also kind of like rested me assured a bit more. But nonetheless, even without joining that community beforehand, my surgery went well. Also relevant to mention is that I had an anchor incision instead of a lollipop incision. So I'm gonna put a picture, but like an anchor is just that you have indeed like an anchor shaped, and a lollipop is just around your areola, and then a line that goes down to that goes down your boobs. When you have an anchor incision, the doctors are able to remove more than when they do a lollipop incision. So depends on what your main goal is. If you really want to reduce, then some people will indeed maybe recommend more of a anchor incision than a lollipop incision. If you scar or have issues, then I think sometimes a lollipop incision might also be better. I did mention to my surgeon that I tend to get hypertrophic scars. So those are kind of like a bit of raised scars. And I did mention that beforehand, because some surgeons do also already take precautions while operating you to prevent those scars from forming. Or if you get keloids, I would also mention that. I am happy to report that I haven't developed any keloids after surgery. It did look as if I was going to get some hypertrophic scars, but I'm managing that a bit. I will also discuss that more in the other video because that's more of like the after. But those are things that I did mention to my surgeon because I wanted her to be aware of everything. I think when you are trusting somebody with your life, yeah, especially when it comes to surgery, I think it's important to be extremely transparent and leave no stone unturned. So that's what I did, and she said like, okay, then we'll start kind of thinking about aftercare, and it's on my file. Beforehand I started prepping. I got a lot of stuff. That is also going to be in another video. I don't want the videos to be that long. That's why I'm not doing all in one go, because also just for me, child, I can't be talking just too much. I mean, I feel like it's just too much to talk about, but in one sitting, and then I would have to. Nah, if I were to talk about the whole process in one video, it's surely gonna take like maybe 2 hours, and I don't want that on my channel. So this is kind of like the before. Before also doing surgery, as I said, I mentioned it at my work. I got my sick leave approved. I arranged for myself to stay a few days at a friend. And then I got the necessary stuff like a pregnancy pillow, comfortable clothes that zip on the front or button up on the front. And then I got some easy things to eat like smoothies, protein shakes, fruit, and my friend did the groceries for me as well. So she stocked up on things on her end. And then I reported for the surgery on the 4th of December, and I stayed one night in the hospital. That was about it. What else? My friend picked me up the next day, the 5th of December, at I think like 7 o'clock or something, because I had to leave quite early. And then, after that starts kind of like the recovery phase. And so I'm gonna wrap it up before my battery dies. So the idea started in January. After that, I went in August. I got my consultation, did the blood work, did the pictures, and then I kind of like started the process. They, from their end, were the ones who contacted like the insurance company. That's what I wanted to mention. The insurance company is contacted by the plastic surgeon, like the facility itself. So a lot of the paperwork I didn't have to do, only go and get the referral officially from my GP after that, and then everything sets in motion behind closed doors where I don't see it. And that's quite handy here in the Netherlands. And then you don't have to do a lot of the paperwork because you can trust the system to a certain extent. And then I talked with my manager at work, and then I set the date for the 4th of December. I had a bit of a low iron levels, took the medicine for that, and then the surgery went as planned on the 4th of December. And now I am 6 weeks post-op. Next week is gonna be 7 weeks. I'm still wearing my compression bra. But other than that, surgery went fairly well. I had a smooth recovery, but those are things that I'm going to be talking about in the next video. But having said that, thank you for watching. It has been your girl, Camina Jo, and I wish you a pleasant day. You know what to do, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And if this is something that you're interested in doing here in the Netherlands, feel free to send me a message or to senseiproductions@gmail.com. But I hope that this informs you or gives you more information so that it can empower you to make the decision that is right for you. So having said all of that, be blessed, have a beautiful day, and thank you for watching. Bye.